name's Jamie. I live in Saudi Arabia and I have a makeup collection that just keeps getting larger. It did the other day, but I haven't had a chance to play with this palette quite yet. I did get a palette. I did. And I got this palette from Gloss Gods, and I have done a video recently on Gloss Gods, but it wasn't exactly my most bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at all. I was talking about a breakup that is ceasing to be relevant, and I wanted to give not only Gloss Gods another try, but that video another try. In my first order to Gloss Gods, I picked up Gal on the Moon, and I also got Dancing in the Sky. We know I like of the duochromes. I'm curious what a wholly conceptualized palette from this brand would look like. So I picked up Vintage Glam. So here she is. So this shade came smashed. I need to email them about that. I kind of pressed it back in, but it doesn't look good. She don't look good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if I can swatch it. So I kind of shied away from getting, for instance, Gal on Mars, because the more I thought about it, even though I really like all of the duochromes, I like duochromes in general, and I'm not saying I'm never gonna get this palette, it just wasn't priority. It just, the color story doesn't excite me that much. So I went ahead and I picked this one up instead, again, to kind of see if the mattes are any good. So if something like this, so if a video like this interests you, please feel free to stick around and like and subscribe and tell me what you're thinking, what you want to know, all that good stuff. So let's get into it. One moment. So right now, this palette retails for 49.5 euro, 40 euros and 95 whatevers. I don't even know what that is. And then I also picked up their glitter primer, and this retails for 14.95 euro. That's how you're meant to say that. God. I tried this glitter primer yesterday with Gal on the Moon for an outfit, and I looked stunning, by the way. And it worked great. It actually worked kind of fire. So these duochromes are typically really, really flaky. They're kind of the flakier ones that I've ever used. And it definitely kind of cut down on kind of the worry. I went on a roller coaster and my makeup stayed. So I'm gonna go in first to the darkest shade, Beautiful Past. We know how I do makeup here. It's not gonna be revolutionary. I'm just kind of trying the palette. Right away. No. So I really like a purple color story. That's a beautiful color. I'm not really into like a mulberry or a berry color story particularly. I prefer more purple, but this is just neutral enough, like leaning, that this could be kind of the best. This is beautiful. So because I have my makeup done already, I am gonna take this down a little bit just to kind of get my shape a little nicer. I've been noticing I do kind of things too winged out, and then I have to fix it, and it doesn't, I don't know, I just don't like it. Here we are. Here's where we are so far. Sorry, there was my lighting shadow. Anyway, it looked weird. Okay, so now I'm gonna take a fluffy brush, a fluffier brush. This is just a crappy one. Sorry, I'm probably never gonna be one of those people who tells you what brush I'm using. I'm not going to. I think I'm gonna go in now to Forget Me Not, this shade, kind of a purpley lavender shade. I'm just gonna start to buff that in to my crease. This palette is laid out in such a way that if you're kind of a beginner, I think it would make a lot of sense to you to use. They have, for instance, this row that all kind of goes together, this row all kind of goes together, etc. And yeah, you could just go basically by row and use all those colors. That's not what I'm doing, but I think you could do that. This is what I mean when I say I kind of start going like too pointy. I don't know, maybe that's in there, but this is kind of turning not to my favorite color. I don't know. It might be this brush too. I'm gonna get a better brush. I don't like this brush at all. Kind of covering that first shade and lacking a bit of dimension that first shade should have given us. But that could be user error as well. I'm gonna go back into the first shade. That shade is Beautiful Past, the darkest. I'm just gonna go back in a little bit. A really bad habit of not placing and then blending. I put it down and start to blend. I don't like how I do that. So that's totally me. Okay, I'm gonna go into Vintage Vamp, this shade. I'm gonna try to blend that now. I think I wanna take just a little bit of this pink. I think She's Timeless. I'm just gonna put that on the end. That's getting somewhere now, I feel. That shade is getting a little bit swallowed by Forget Me Not. But it also very well may be the way I applied it. I didn't apply it the best. I'm gonna throw down a cut crease, wild, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's where we're at. It's hot in here, ugh. Okay, now I'm gonna show you the consistency of the glitter glue. Ooh, you can't really tell, but it's like this. It's very sticky. Very, very, very sticky and super tacky. So in that regard, it's kind of good. I don't know. I'm not sure if this is how they all are. I don't know. But yeah, did you see my eye move when I tried to tap it on there? So I kind of have a lot. Ugh. This is not the easiest to use. It does really work. I will give it that. I could ruin a brush, but I don't want to. Oh, hang on, I will, one second. This is literally a very dead brush that I have that just is glued together with actual lash glue. So I'm gonna use that to spread all the glue on my eyes. It's very gluey. Very, very, very gluey. Oh, it even kind of stings. Is it supposed to do that? Is it supposed to sting? Oh, now what do I want to do? What do I want to use? To be fair, I don't even know that these are duochromes. I haven't swatched this. I haven't done anything with it. I'm just going in. I'm gonna go into Epic Love Story. This looks like the flakiest of them all, so I'm gonna go in and just tap. This is not a duochrome. It's beautiful. It's very vibrant, but a duochrome it is not. Why did I assume they were all duochromes? Making an ass out of you and me. So yeah, you can pick up like a very healthy amount and just blop it. I maybe should have read the instructions to the blue also. I'm gonna go into Legend Has It for the edge on the outside. That's just a gluey mess. That is just a literal gluey mess. Is that the intended method? Literally a chunk of glue that won't settle. I mean, so I have some texture in my eyes, so I'm used to using a glue, but like the BH Cosmetics glue does not do that. And I'm curious, I've been wanting to try the NYX glitter glue. A little gunky and unfun, I gotta say. Okay, I'm gonna go into Old Soul now carefully. This is the broken shade. I'm gonna stick that on my inner corner. That's more, finally, a duochrome. This side is just lifting off. Like it's just glitter and glue chunk coming up off my eye. I'll let that dry down a sec. I don't know. I'm gonna go into my lower lash line a little bit, and I'm just gonna go in with this crappy brush to Vintage Glam. I'm gonna run it underneath my eye. This is just so textured. I don't like it. This eye is just so chunky. Do you see that? No. Maybe I should have read the directions. I'm gonna do that, 1 second. Okay, so here's what it says. Apply a small amount on top of a clean lid or a thin layer over your eyeshadow to layer glitter on top of your eyeshadow. That's the problem. So, apply your pigment or glitter with tapping motions to make it stick to the primer. You just need a small amount of primer, less is more. The gel formula becomes clear when it is applied to the lid. The primer is water resistant, so it is washed away with an oil cleanser. Okay, that makes sense. And that's why I'm having problems. So I think I used too much, certainly. And then I think it's just coming down to I used too much, and then it's on eyeshadow base. It's not just on a clean lid. Although I don't do my eyeshadow without having a base on, so I don't know. That makes sense. There are kind of too many layers happening on my eye to make it sit flat and just make it sit properly. So it's user error. It is a bit chunky, and I don't know. It did behave a little bit like that yesterday, but not as bad. And I did not do a cut crease with eyeshadow base. So that adds up. That makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the eye look and put some lashes on, and I'll be right back to talk about the look, the palette, etc. I'll be right back. All right, so here we have the look. I just went full in crazy. So I'm gonna be taking this off anyway, so it's fine. I'm not really happy with how it turned out, just given that this is so textured, but I understand that I made the mistake, not the product, not the products, so that's fine. At that, I can live, you know what I mean? I'm not sure that I'm gonna be using this so much because it is so thick, and I don't know, it just is extremely gluey. Like the BH glitter glue is sticky, but it spreads evenly over your eye very easily and very naturally. I haven't tried the NYX, but I want to. This is real gummy, and like even, can you see it just, it's not even settling in the container evenly. So I don't know how you feel about that. This is a pretty color story. I'm a little, I wouldn't say disappointed in it. I had kind of the expectation that it was more duochrome than it is, but it's okay. I can see myself using it. Oh, that's a really pretty shade. So I just swatched Retro Glam and Oh the Stories. The Retro Glam is the pink, Oh the Stories is the purple. I mean, they do show up, and these are kind of a smoother formula than the flaky shadows that I have on my eyes. I'm gonna swatch Vintage Hero as well. So, I didn't swatch that great. Hello. There we go. That's a little darker. So, it's a nice quality product. It's a nice quality palette. It's definitely not my favorite of now the three that I have. I really prefer that Gloss Gods does duochromes. That's kind of what I was ready for, and that's kind of what I was expecting, so I'm a little bit confused by this experience in a way. I guess I should have read the description a couple times. So yeah, it's a bit expensive too. Like 40 euros for not even a duochrome palette? Really? Really? And then to have one shade kind of arrive busted, I'm not sure about this. I did get both of these products for 15% off, so I should really just shut up, but yeah. The mattes, I guess that's kind of the thing here, is that the mattes performed relatively well. That was kind of what I was curious about, so I now have my answer. I can proceed to buy other palettes from this brand and know that the mattes are gonna be just fine. So in that regard, it was a successful experiment. That's the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.